All right, we are in the dog days of summer. It's early June, nothing going on but workouts and hypotheticals coming into football season and basketball season later on. But I figured, what better time than to introduce one of the newest members of our Virginia Tech men's basketball team, Ryan Jones Jr. Ryan, welcome. I know you're going to go by
Hey,
RJ, so we'll start out with RJ. But I had to do the legal name off the bat for the fans.
yes.
We start every episode with a Hokie haiku. So this was submitted by a fan on our Twitter account. Pete McGee wrote this haiku. So here we go. Ready? Legacy building. Work doesn't stop for RJ. Hokie ball turn up. So thank you, Pete, for submitting this fantastic poem
Appreciate
today.
that. Yeah.
But RJ, man, thank you for joining. I know this will be a nice little introduction to the fan base for you. And let's just kind of hit the highlights and then we'll dive right into it. But 6'8", 225 is the listed on the roster. Freshman forward from the Rock School in Gainesville, Florida. And you are the fifth highest rated signee in school history, which is a really cool stat. And congratulations on that. That's really, really cool. I
Appreciate
know
it.
the fans are fired up about you. I believe you committed back in like October of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and people have been really excited ever since. So this will be a fun episode to get you introduced. I'm kind of going to start off, and I know I feel bad doing this to you, but I'm going to start off with kind of one of the, I guess, highlights / lowlights of your high school career was your injury. But I know that's something that you have talked about in interviews before.
Mm-hmm.
So prior to your injury, you were, extremely, extremely highly rated. But I
Yeah.
wanted to kind of get your perspective. I followed you on Instagram and Twitter for a while, and I feel like I kind of know a little bit what you're about. So, but I wanted you to talk about this because the injury had to be something that sculpted you as a person and a player, and I wanted to give you a
Mm-hmm.
chance to kind of talk through that and about that time and how it helped you get to where you are, both personally and on the court.
Yeah. So, even though it was an injury, I would probably say that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me because during that time is when I found my relationship with God. Like I went all in with God because before, I knew of God. I was born in a Christian household and stuff like that. But once I got that injury and I was out for 6 months, I couldn't do basketball, I couldn't do nothing. I was on the couch for like a month or so, couldn't even move because of my meniscus injury. And so I told myself, what am I going to do in these 6 months? And I decided to just go all in with God. And during that time, I found, um, well, right now he's my spiritual coach. His name is Pastor Franco. And during that time, he just helped guide me and help me build my relationship with God while I was out, couldn't play basketball or anything. So that was probably the best thing that's ever happened to me.
That's a really awesome perspective, and that's a really mature way to go about a tough time. Well, I guess you were what, 16, 17 when all that was going down. So for you
Yeah.
to dive into it that way and attack it from a personal development perspective is really cool, and I think kind of gives a good insight into the fan base as to kind of who you are. And that was my next question: is kind of who is RJ Jones the person before we get into basketball?
A person, I am a child of God. Well, that's first. I'm obviously a basketball player. I'm very loving, caring, put other people first. I love seeing people succeed over myself. I love to see myself succeed, but like seeing others, like my teammates and stuff, that just makes me smile and stuff like that. Um, at times that could be pretty funny, if you hang around me a little bit, you can see I have a kind of goofy side of me. Um, I'm very creative. I like to build things, draw, do artsy type stuff. Um, yeah,
All right, and then from a basketball perspective, describe yourself, scout yourself. Who is RJ the basketball player?
I would say RJ is like a power forward. Well, what do they call it? Like a stretch four.
Yeah.
So I can go inside and outside because one of my best attributes is shooting. So I can get out to the perimeter and people can find me. And in the low post, I can like if there was a switch or something on a guard or something, I can put them in the post and then have a big outside. I can shoot over him and stuff like that. So yeah.
This one, I didn't have this one written down, but I'm curious now that we're talking through it. How much, because you watch your highlights and you're shooting that thing. So how
Yeah.
much of that came post the injury, or were you always able to just absolutely shoot it?
Yeah, I was always able to shoot it. It really came because I would say 7th grade. One of the recruits that came to my high school, his dad was a shooting coach. And so before that, I could shoot and stuff, but once he came, he just developed my shot even more. And so ever since 7th grade, I've just been progressing in my shooting ability.
Yeah, I mean, it jumps off the screen when you watch, clips of you playing. You got absolutely lace it from outside, which, I know that's one of the big things we're getting from number 21. I saw on the roster we got number
Yes.
21. But what else are Virginia Tech fans going to get from number 21 besides that shooting?
Um, Definitely like a leader on court, and even at times I may be on the bench or something like that, I'm still gonna be a leader on the bench and just cheering my teammates along and just having that energy and that positivity to bring to the team and throughout like wherever I am.
So we talked about it a little bit. Very highly rated player, very highly recruited player. Why Virginia Tech? We'll go there and then we'll dive a little bit deeper. But why Virginia Tech? Just high level stuff.
Like basketball wise,
Sure.
mainly
Or
or
the all encompassing decision.
okay, so I chose Virginia Tech because first of all, I felt like God because it was between Florida and Virginia Tech, and
Yep.
so I was praying about it and stuff like that. I had other people pray for me and stuff like that, and I just felt like if I would have stayed in Gainesville, I would have been a little bit too comfortable, and I feel like I was like I'm like made to go somewhere where I'm uncomfortable and like meet new people, do different things I'm not really used to, and so I chose Virginia Tech because I just felt like I got that opportunity and just the atmosphere around this place is just amazing and beautiful campus and the people around here are very loving and caring. And Coach Young, I love his personality and how he can like switch coaching on and coaching off. And just the staff here is amazing. It just reminds me of my high school and the staff that we have. And yeah.
Yeah, we were filming a cool piece of content in the facility last year, and I asked KG about you, and he raved about you as the person first. So that's why I wanted to
Yeah.
talk about you as a person before we talk about basketball. But yeah, talk about Coach Giltner. Brag on him for a second because he's the man.
Yeah, he's amazing. Just like how much like during the recruiting process, how he was just like at me. And I'm a relationship kind of guy, so like when he was just continuously texting me, calling me, I was like, okay, this dude really cares about me. And so that's what really made Virginia Tech on top of my radar and stuff like that. So yeah, he's a really good dude. Yeah, I love Gilman. It's cool.
And you talked about Coach Young a little bit. How did kind of his scheme and his offense? That fans love to talk about Coach Young's offense, and it's as a basketball fan, it's as fun to watch as anybody in the country when things are clicking. So how much was a scheme fit a part of your decision making process from the encore perspective?
Definitely hit like Virginia Tech as a whole is, I would say, very good at shooting. Like they bring in people who can really shoot, and just how he plays a lot of his things through the forwards, and just like in high school, I was really everybody was playing it through me, and so you get the ball, we can do different things. I can pop out, pop in the post. It's just a lot of the stuff goes through the forwards, and that's what I really liked about it.
Yeah, we've seen in recent years, Keve Aluma and Grant Basili, and
Hmm.
last year
Yeah.
Robbie Barron, guys who can really shoot it from that four spot. So watching, when you committed, watching your highlights and stuff, it was pretty clear to see what the staff saw as well.
Yeah.
Um, Interesting offseason. Obviously for you, we talked about it a little bit this before, we pressed record, but obviously for you, everything's new anyway. You're a freshman. But from a fan perspective, there's a lot of new stuff in terms of the players in the building right now. You got
Yeah.
your freshman class, yourself, Tyler Johnson, and then Ben Hammond, a late ad there that I'm personally very
Yes.
excited about. And then you got all the transfers: Ben Burnham, Toby, Rodney Brown, Jaden, Fab, yeah, everybody. So it's a whole new cast of characters.
Hmm.
um, I guess we'll start with the freshmen. Give us a quick little scouting report, maybe 15, 20 seconds on both of your incoming freshman classmates.
Yeah, so Tyler Johnson, I used to play with him in middle school. So we've always known each other throughout middle school and high school. And so it was cool seeing him and like his play style. Definitely like, what do you call it? What do you call that? Compliment. We compliment one another and how we play and stuff like that. And, he has a big frame, could do pretty much everything on the court. And yeah, and then Ben Hammond, he's just really quick guard, coming from PVI, he's been on the big stage before, so he knows a lot of things about basketball, what to do in certain situations and stuff like that. So he's a pretty good ad.
Yeah, Ben, that was. I feel like that commitment kind of flew under the radar because it was just a weird time of year and fans weren't
Yeah,
really paying attention to basketball. But watching him play at PVI on some of those ESPN events on TV, I was fired up when he decided to come to Virginia Tech. And then the transfers, man. The guys showing you the ropes of college basketball. You got Ben Burnham, Toby, Rodney, Jaden. Talk about those guys a little bit.
so let's talk about Ben Burnham first. I really didn't know who he was at the time and stuff like that, but he's like during pickup and stuff, he could do a lot of things as well. Like I would guess he's somebody like me, like he can pop out, he can get in the post, he can do pretty much. He's like that forward that Virginia Tech wants.
Mhm.
And then Toby, I see him at VCU. Dude can jump out the gym. So like alleys everywhere. He's getting rebounds. He's pretty much like all over the place, doing like a lot of the dirty work, you could say. And then Jaden, he is a shooter. Um, another ball handler. Um, that's pretty much right now because right now he's kind of hurt with his hands and stuff like that, but he'll be getting back and just, yeah, we're really waiting out to see what he can do. But I heard good things about him.
And you got two more. You got Rodney and Fab.
All right, so Fabe,
No, is that
you
how they
said
say it? All right,
Fabe.
good.
I
Make sure
think
you
it's
correct
Fabe.
me. I
Yeah,
need you to
I be
correct
getting it wrong sometimes too.
me.
But Fabe, he coming from Temple. I mean, during like the pickups and workouts and stuff, he's a really crafty guard. He knows how to get to his spots and he can make big plays. Yeah, definitely a great point guard. Rodney Brown, he's like he's like a true wing. So like you give him the ball, he's crafty with it. He can get to his spots as well. Has a nice shot. He can hit open shots, hit shots when people are in his face. And he's just really crafty as a wing.
Yeah, it's been cool to see this, the official Hokies men's basketball Instagram page starting to put out clips from all these workouts y'all are doing. It's fun to see the games of all the new guys and familiarize yourself with them as a fan. Um, yeah, who's impressed, man? Who's been impressing you? Yeah, as your first little tiny taste of college basketball, what's been impressive so far?
Um, like as a whole,
Yeah, you can talk
like
about whatever you want to talk about. Individual as a
um,
whole, the coaching staff, yeah, whatever you want.
I just really like the chemistry. Like once everybody got here, I feel like everybody just clicked together. Like yeah, it's kind of weird, but like everybody's like getting one another. Like our chemistry is there, and I can see it like growing. And it's just the summer, so who knows what we can get to during this season and
That's
in the
exciting.
future.
That's
Yeah.
exciting because I feel like in today's day of roster building and the transfer portal and stuff, I feel like the chemistry part would be tough. So having good leaders and good coaches who can put together a group of really good people first. That's really exciting to hear that you feel that way this early on. From an encore perspective, though, one of the questions I see a lot of fans have on the internet is kind of who's leading the way on a pretty much all new team. You got a few guys back: Big Pat, Elijah, Jaden, B Rock. But
Mhm.
kind of who's leading the way from an encore perspective, or is it
I would
you? Are
probably
you leading the way?
no, I'm still learning and picking up different things, we will get there, but I would probably say B-Rock right now. He's been through a lot, definitely through last season stuff, and he knows different things. He's really a vocal leader, I would say. Him and Elijah. Um, yeah,
I'm excited. Elijah's back, man. That's he's a,
yes,
he's a,
that's
he's, a, he's as good a
big to
dude
see.
as you'll find. What a nice guy he is.
Yes.
All right, so we've reached kind of the rapid fire section. these don't actually have to be rapid. You can take as long as you want to answer them.
Hmm.
We just call it this. But I know you haven't been there long. I did see your Instagram story last night. You were out on the town grabbing some food. So, what's the best place
Yes.
you've eaten in Blacksburg so far?
I would probably say Greens. I really like that place. Yeah, I'm a big chicken and rice type of guy. And just yeah, it's pretty good. It reminds me of like hibachi type stuff, and yeah, I'll probably say Greens.
I know there's a hibachi spot in Christiansburg. I'm sure you guys will all venture out to one day too. So,
Okay,
I know that's a popular one. Spotify or Apple Music?
Spotify.
And then what are we listening to?
I listen to a lot of Christian rap. Caleb Gordon is definitely at the top of that list. I've been listening to him like pretty much all last summer, and just he's there. And then Maverick City's up there as well. Um, who else do I be listening to like that? I like a lot of old music as well, like slow old music, like Frank Sinatra type, Louis Armstrong, all that
There you
type of
go.
stuff. I think
There you
that's
go.
pretty
I was gonna
smooth.
say, is it old rap or is it old everything?
Pretty much like old smooth stuff, like
Gotcha.
the artists I said. Yeah.
Is that what's on the pregame list? Are you like a calm before a game kind of guy, or are you trying to get hyped up before a game?
I could do both. I would say it depends just how I'm feeling before that game. You know, I could do both, or I can do nothing. Yeah.
All right. We are recording this on what is today's date? The 6th. So it's the first day of the NBA Finals. Celtics or Mavs?
I got Mavs.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
One of the founders of Sons of Saturday, Billy Ray Mitchell, big Celtics fan, so he'll be bummed to hear that.
Uh,
Anybody on either team that you kind of look at yourself a little bit and see?
oh, from Celtics and Mavs.
Well, yeah, those two in particular, but then I guess you can go broad and talk about the whole league if you want.
I could do Celtics and Mavs. Probably
Porzingis is back, so maybe him.
yes. Yeah, he's solid. You know, he can shoot the three. He can go in the post, even though he's like 7 foot something.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, probably
Or
the
PJ
closest thing.
Washington, maybe he can shoot the three a little bit too.
Yeah, PJ Washington. Oh, he's
Um,
on. He
what
is on
about
the
yeah? What about the
Mavs.
whole league? Anybody across the league that you kind of model your game after?
Mm. I said this in a Triumph interview. It was like Joel Embiid and the way he can do both as well.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
I can see that. Oh yeah, I saw the first Triumph interview for Rodney. He was talking about Devin Booker.
yeah.
Um, Team you're most excited to play against in the ACC?
Team I'm most excited to play against. I don't think I have a specific team. I'm just ready for the atmosphere of like wherever we go. Even Castle, like playing in front of like a bunch of people, I think that's just gonna be crazy, you know.
Well,
So
and,
yeah,
and yeah, there's a lot of good ones across the league. That's for sure.
yeah,
You get to do the whole the whole Duke thing. Virginia's got a good atmosphere, but man, you ask players across the league, Castle's as good as it gets.
yeah,
So,
that's what I heard.
um, who is your basketball goat? Are you an MJ or LeBron guy, or do you got somebody else that you throw in that ring?
Ooh, jeez, I don't even know. Um, I would probably say I don't even know. When that stuff comes up, I just don't know. But I think they're both equally pretty good players. You know, definitely up there.
Do you have a personal
Um,
favorite then? Personal favorite player doesn't have to be who you think the goat is, but just personal favorite, like growing up or something like that.
I did follow a lot of Carl Anthony Towns and Anthony Davis growing up because of what they could do on the court. Yeah,
All right, and last one. You got one meal, favorite meal of all time.
pancakes.
Oh
I love
wow,
pancakes.
not like a nice steak or nothing, just pancakes. All right. You got to go down to Joe's Diner on Main Street then one morning and grab yourself some pancakes this summer before all the students get back to town and it gets hard to get in there. You have to run
For
down
sure.
there, right around the corner from Greens. You'll find it. It's a
Okay.
small little spot, but good breakfast food.
Right.
I don't have a whole lot else, man. I told you this would be quick. Really just wanted to get on here and kind of introduce you to the fan base. I think we covered a little bit, so we'll get you back on as the season gets closer. But enjoy your summer down there in Blacksburg. I never personally did a summer in Blacksburg, but everybody who I know who has says it's pretty nice to be there when things are calm and
Yeah.
you get your feet under you and get ready for a really exciting freshman year for you and the guys. So thank you for coming on and looking forward to talking to you some more soon.
For sure. Appreciate it.